Chapter 1483. She is my woman. Everyone's eyes almost popped out. Oh my god. Yun Chujio actually kissed Your Excellency in broad daylight? This is too unrestrained. Your Excellency will definitely fly into a rage. Maybe he will slap Yun Chujio and send her flying. This Yun Chujio is really too good at being evil. It was not easy to get Your Excellency's favor, so you should just be honest. You actually kissed Your Excellency in public. You are really courting death. Qin Ming's eyes revealed a gloating expression. Yun Chujio, you're too cocky. Even if His Majesty really likes you a little, he can't tolerate your outrageous behavior. Maybe His Majesty will just slap you away. Everyone's gaze turned to Di Baiming. Then, they were shocked to find that not only was Di Baiming not angry, he even slightly raised the corners of his mouth. This was too shocking. Seeing this scene, many women gave up on their thoughts towards Di Baiming. What a joke. Let's not talk about whether or not they would be able to get the Lord's favor. Just Yun Chujio alone was so valiant. Were they afraid? She even dared to forcefully kiss the Lord. What else would she not dare to do? Qin Mingzhu bit her lips tightly. Yun Chujio, I will never give up just like that. Let's wait and see. Bailey Yen was slightly distracted and no one knew what she was thinking about. At this moment, Di Baiming said calmly, Yun Chujio is my woman. If anyone dares to hurt her in the future, no matter who they are, I will kill them without mercy. Although Di Baiming's words were shorter than Yun Chujio's, the effect was much more shocking than Yun Chujio's. Many people put Yun Chujio on the list of people they should not provoke. What a joke. In the past, Yun Chujio was only the old friend of the palace master's wife's daughter, but now she was the esteemed lattice woman. There was no comparison at all, okay? Unless they did not want to live anymore, they would only provoke Yun Chujio. Besides, who could afford to provoke a pervert like Yun Chujio? Yun Chujio was very satisfied with Di Baiming's attitude. She said to Di Baiming with a smile, Dear Prince Charming, let's go shopping. Di Baiming nodded and the two of them walked down the stairs. Everyone consciously made a path for them. Yun Chujio held Di Baiming's arm and skipped away. Many people looked at the backs of Di Baiming and Yun Chujio. They felt that the two of them were meant to be a couple. The feeling of being together was so compatible. At this moment, Lan Luochen stood by the window on the second floor and looked at the backs of Di Baiming and Yun Chujio. His aura became gloomy and his eyes turned dark blue. Yun Chujio held Di Baiming's arm and walked around for a while. She pouted because she realized that no matter where she went, the people who sold things would be like drawing a goat's horn when they saw Di Baiming. They were either trembling with excitement or with fear. It was really a downer. Forget it, I'm not going to walk around anymore. Let's go back to Changfeng Inn and look for Enfeng. The three of us will go fight the landlord. Yun Chujio said with a smile. Di Baiming was so happy today that he was about to fly. Naturally, he would not object. The two of them held hands and walked toward Long Winden. Yun Chujio was in a good mood, she hummed softly, because I love your love, because I dream of your dreams, I am sad for your sorrow, happy for your happiness, so happy for your happiness, chasing after your chase. Prince Charming, is it good? What is the name of this song? Holding hands. Yes, holding hands, I will grow old with you. Little Gio, I will always hold your hand, I will never let go. Chapter 1484. The fourth tale of the Shao Hong Red Fox. Yun Chujio was a little shy for once. She felt that her hand that was being held by Di Baiming was slightly sweating. This gigolo was getting better and better at flirting with girls. Fortunately, she acted early. Otherwise, she might have benefited some little vixen. Shopkeeper Chi's face was filled with horror as he saw his honored master and Yun Chujio walking in hand. Was this already a public announcement? Could it be that the two of them had been walking down the street hand in hand? If Shopkeeper Chi knew that the two of them were not only walking hand in hand, but that Yun Chujio had also forcefully kissed Di Baiming, he would probably be so scared that he would collapse to the ground. Little madman! Little madman! Come out! We will fight the landlord! Yun Chujio shouted as soon as she entered the backyard. Enfeng was already immune to the term, little madman. He quickly came out to greet Di Baiming and Yun Chujio. The three of them fought for a while and the sky started to darken. After dinner, Di Baiming naturally entered Yun Chujia's room. The two of them had a good time, but Yun Chujio did not come to Kueishui. Although Di Baiming wanted to tear Yun Chujio apart and eat her, he was afraid that it would not be good for Yun Chujia's body, so he could only endure it. Yun Chujio sat on the bed and scolded Guai Chao more than 1,000 times. Only then did she say, "Prince Charming, this damn Go Weiba will be a disaster sooner or later. In the future, when it grows up and my dantian is not big enough, I'm afraid that I won't be of any use anymore. It will definitely kill me. Little Gio, don't worry. My master has been thinking of a way. I have also sent people to scout around for similar information. I will definitely find a way to get rid of Guai Chao." Humph. Damn it, if there is really no way, I will give up my dantian. I will also kill this dog's tail. Yun Chujio said through gritted teeth. The Guai Chao in the dantian curled up into a ball. It wished that it could reduce its presence to the minimum. This grass was also very helpless, okay? If it could choose, it would not choose a pervert like you. Little Gio, the reason why I came here this time is firstly to see you. Secondly, my father is very worried about you. Di Baiming told her about Di Linhan's worries. Yun Chujia's heart warmed up. She did not expect the pretty boy's father to be so concerned about me, she said with a smile. "Prince Charming, tell my uncle to be at ease. I am a person who is most afraid of death and will definitely be very careful. Besides, it is not that easy to kill me." The corner of Di Baiming's eyes twitched. He had already said it. Little Gio was the most afraid of death. She would be very careful even if no one told her to be careful. Yun Chujio and Di Baiming had been together for 3 days. Di Baiming personally sent Yun Chujio to the Tianyuan Academy. The students of the Tianyuan Academy initially did not believe it. Now that they saw Di Baiming personally sending Yun Chujio back to the Tianyuan Academy, they knew that the rumors were true. The two of them were really together. If it was in the past, they would definitely think that Yun Chujio was lucky. However, after the competition with the Netherworld Academy, they felt that Yun Chujio was worthy of Di Baiming. After all, Yun Chujio's talent was really shocking. With a little more time, she would definitely shine. In the following period of time, although Yun Chujio was living a comfortable life, she had been worrying about one thing. It had been a long time since she broke through. The last time she had broken through was after she was struck by White Steamed Bun's lightning array in the Grand Desolate Realm. After that, although the spiritual power in her body was enough to break through, she had not broken through for a long time. Yun Chujio knew that if she wanted to break through, she would have to find another opportunity. However, where was this opportunity? On this day, Yun Chujio had her lunch and was about to cultivate when the excited voice of the three-tailed red fox, Xiaohong, came from the spirit beast bag. "Master, master, my fourth tail has grown." Yun Chujio was delighted and quickly took out the three-tailed red fox. Sure enough, the fourth tail of Xiaohong had grown to the same length as the other 3 tails. Yun Chujio was concerned. "Xiaohong, your fourth tail has grown. What abilities have you gained?" Xiaohong blinked her eyes. "Master, I am also puzzled. Although my tail has grown, I have not gained any abilities." Yun Chujio was very smart. She could tell that Xiaohong was lying at a glance. She sneered and said, "Xiaohong, if we are talking about lying and deceiving master, I am the ancestor. Are you trying to lie to me? Are you preparing to lose weight?" Chapter 1485. Xiaohong's new ability. Xiaohong was terrified and said unwillingly, "Master, my ability is that I can grow bigger." Grow bigger? Does this mean that I will have a mount in the future? Ha! In the future, when the trials are held, I can finally stop being tired. Come here, grow bigger for me to see." Yun Chujio said excitedly. Xiaohong's heart was filled with tears. I knew it. If I were to say it, my evil master would definitely squeeze me to death in the future. However, I did not dare to not say it. Xiaohong's body slowly grew bigger. It was about the size of a small donkey. Yun Chujio pouted. TSK, this is too small. I thought that I could lie on your back and roll around. However, it's all right. You'd better grow a pair of wings in the future. If you can grow a pair of fins, that would be even more perfect. Xiao Hong was about to cry. I'm a fox. How is a fox? The one with wings you mentioned is called a bird. The one with fins is called a fish. Yun Chujio said that she disliked it, but she rode on the Xiao Hong and ran a few hundred laps in the courtyard. Xiao Hong felt that the fox would give birth to darkness in the future. Just as Yun Chujio was torturing Xiao Hong, her identity jade token trembled and informed everyone to gather at the Tianyuan Square. Yun Chujio jumped off Xiao Hong's back and sighed, "What a pity, what a pity. Spirit beasts are prohibited from entering the Tianyuan Academy. Otherwise, I would be able to ride you to the Tianyuan Square." Xiao Hong thought to herself, the person who set the rules of the academy must be a good person. Otherwise, she would feel that the life of a beast was hopeless. When Yun Chujio arrived at the Tianyuan Square, there were already many people gathered there. When Nangong Luiyue saw Yun Chujio, she warmly greeted her, "Little Jiao, come here. Over here." Nangong Luiyue had a gentle personality. During this period of time, she got along very well with Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio jumped to Nangong Luiyue's side and asked curiously, "Sister Luiyue, what happened? Why is everyone from the academy here?" "I don't know either, but it must be something big. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gathered everyone here." "Well, no, in a while." "Oh right, these osmanthus candies are newly made by me. Take them back as snacks." "Hee, then thank you, Sister Luiyue." Yun Chujio grinned as she took the oil paper bag and stuffed one into her mouth. She kept the rest in her storage ring. This fellow would never admit to it. The reason why she got on good terms with Nangong Luoyue so quickly was that Nangong Luoyue often gave her candied fruits and the like. Nangong Luoyue was very happy when she saw Yun Chujio eating so sweetly. She used to think that Yun Chujio was too impulsive, like a little lunatic. However, after interacting with her, she felt that such a straightforward girl like little Jiao was very cute. She was much cuter than those girls who gossiped behind her back. After about 15 minutes, Dean Huangfu and the others arrived. Yun Chujio was very puzzled when she saw Dean Huangfu's expression. Dean Huangfu seemed to be a little excited, and there seemed to be a trace of worry within. What was the meaning of this? "I just received the latest news. The sky-burning mystic realm has appeared. It is estimated that it will open in about 10 days. As soon as Dean Huangfu finished speaking, the students below exploded. Yun Chujio was very puzzled. Wasn't it just a mystic realm? Was there a need to be so excited? It was really rare to see so many strange things. Nangong Luoyue excitedly said to Yun Chujio, "Little Jiao, you don't know that the Burning Sky mystic realm is different from other mystic realms. Not only are there high-grade spirit herbs, but there are also spirit tools that appear randomly. There will also be immortal tools and even divine tools. Most importantly, there will be opportunities for cultivators to have an epiphany. The Burning Sky mystic realm is the immortal realm that all cultivators dream of." Chapter 1486, Burning Sky Mystic Realm. Yun Chujio curled her lips. Immortal realm? More like a trap. There was no such thing as a pie falling from the sky. It was definitely very dangerous inside. Moreover, with so many people entering, it was inevitable that there would be robberies. Whether they could survive or not was a problem. Dean Huangfu coughed twice and everyone quieted down. Dean Huangfu continued, "I believe you have all heard of the Burning Sky Mystic Realm. Not only are there spirit herbs and spirit tools, but there might also be opportunities for epiphanies. However, not only is flying prohibited in the Burning Sky Mystic Realm, but talisman seals are also prohibited. Even formation discs cannot be used. Most importantly, the Burning Sky Mystic Realm is located at the border between the Tianyuan continent and the Netherworld continent. Therefore, not only the cultivators of the Tianyuan continent, but also the cultivators of the Netherworld continent will flock to it. When that time comes, the competition inside will definitely be abnormally fierce. However, fortunately, only people of the Spirit Sect and the Spirit Saint level could enter the Burning Sky Mystic Realm. Otherwise, I would definitely not allow you to enter. I have already explained the pros and cons to you. You should think about it. If you want to go, you can gather here at midnight tomorrow. Deputy Dean Xiao will lead a team to rush to the burning sky wasteland. Little Gio, are you going? I will definitely go. Although it is dangerous, once I get an epiphany, it will be better than cultivating for a few years. Nangong Luoyue said excitedly. Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. Sister Luoyue, I'll think about it when I go back. Ah, that's true. Little Gio, you're now a thorn in the netherworld continent's flesh. When that time comes, it will definitely be very dangerous. It's fine if you don't go. There will be other opportunities in the future. Nangong Luoyue comforted her. Yun Chujio nodded and hopped back to her dormitory. Should she go or not? Yun Chujio was really conflicted. She could predict that the Netherworld Hall would definitely arrange someone to sneak into the burning sky mystic realm to kill her. It was forbidden to use the formation plate inside. She was afraid that she would not be able to use the puppets either. If she could not use the talismans and puppets, then she would not have any trump cards. It would be difficult to deal with it at that time. However, if she did not go, such a rare trial opportunity would be wasted. Moreover, she had not broken through for a long time. Perhaps this was an opportunity. Yun Chujio hesitated for a moment, then she gritted her teeth. Damn it. Go. In any case, people above the spiritual venerable realm couldn't enter. At the very least, people at the spiritual saint level couldn't outrun her. When that time came, she could just run for her life if she couldn't defeat her. The next day, Yun Chujio arrived at the Tianyuan Square on time. Dean Huangfu saw that she had really come, and he was both worried and gratified. Naturally, he was worried about the assassins from the Netherworld Hall. He was gratified that Yun Chujio knew how difficult it was to go forward. Only with such a temperament could she cultivate the great Tao. Everyone took 5 flying spirit tools and headed to the burning sky wasteland. The journey was very smooth. 10 days later, the flying spirit tools arrived at the place where the burning sky mystic realm had appeared. Although the burning sky mystic realm had appeared, it did not seem to have opened yet. Therefore, many cultivators were meditating nearby, waiting for the opening of the burning sky mystic realm. There were many people from the Netherworld continent. The moment Yun Chujio appeared, she was targeted by a few malicious gazes. Yun Chujio curled the corners of her lips indifferently. Damn it, I, Yun Chujio, am not even afraid of the Tian Dao. Why would I be afraid of scum like you? At that time, it was still uncertain who would kill who. Everyone waited for a day. At midnight the next day, the burning sky mystic realm finally opened. Everyone swarmed towards the entrance of the mystic realm. After everyone had entered, Yun Chujio then strolled into the entrance of the burning sky mystic realm. A white light flashed. When Yun Chujio opened her eyes again, the scene in front of her surprised her. Chapter 1487. Moving Mounds. Yun Chujio originally thought that the burning sky mystic realm would be the same as other mystic realms. It was filled with valleys, forests, and the like. She did not expect that the burning sky mystic realm would be extremely desolate. Looking from afar, there were only a few mounds. The weeds on the ground were also half dead. Moreover, there were patches of charred black. She did not know if it was caused by lightning or something else. Yun Chujio could not help but curse in her heart. How could there still be demonic beasts in such a harsh environment? There was no way for demonic beasts to survive, all right. However, it was also possible that only the place where she was teleported was like this. Let's walk forward and take a look. Yun Chujio was walking forward when fireballs began to fall from the sky. The fireballs were of different sizes. The small ones were the size of a fist, and the big ones were even the size of a pot cover. They kept falling down one after another. Yun Chujio was stunned. She quickly activated the fire-repelling bead, and the fireballs were blocked by the protective shield of the fire-repelling bead. Damn it! Fortunately, I have the fire-repelling bead. Otherwise, I will suffer. I don't know if this is the case here. If I find out that it is the artifact spirit who is behind this, I will kill you. Yun Chujio mumbled as she continued to walk forward. After walking for about 20 miles, there were no more fireballs falling from the sky. Yun Chujio withdrew the fire-repelling bead and was about to rest for a while when she felt the ground begin to tremble. Yun Chujio did not dare to be negligent. She looked around vigilantly and saw that the earth mounds were actually starting to move. The earth mounds could still move? How was this possible? Yun Chujio quickly understood why these earth mounds could move. These were not earth mounds. Those earth mounds were actually huge demonic beasts. Those demonic beasts looked somewhat similar to the tortoises. There was a huge turtle shell on their backs. Those demonic beasts were probably resting earlier. Their necks and limbs were all curled up in the turtle shell. Therefore, Yun Chujio thought that those were earth mounds. Yun Chujio counted and found that there were as many as 6 of them. Moreover, all of them were crawling towards Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio had never expected that she would encounter such a great crisis as soon as she entered the burning sky mystic realm. She tried to use the explosive talisman and the puppet, but nothing unexpected happened. Although those demonic beasts looked similar to tortoises, their speed was not slow at all. In the blink of an eye, they had surrounded Yun Chujio in the middle. Yun Chujio looked at the thick limbs of the demonic beasts and temporarily gave up on the idea of escaping. She smiled and waved her claws at the 6 demonic beasts. "Hi, how are you? I have never seen such majestic demonic beasts like you. I wonder what kind of demonic beast you are? Could it be the divine beast Black Tortoise?" Although the 6 gigantic demonic beasts could not speak human language, they could still understand it. When they heard Yun Chujio comparing them to the divine beast Black Tortoise, they were very proud of themselves. They raised their heads to the sky and started to caw strangely. The cawing sound was similar to that of a duck. It was so loud that Yun Chujio's ears were buzzing. Yun Chujio's heart was filled with joy. It seemed that they could understand what she was saying. As long as they could understand what she was saying, she was not afraid that she would not be able to fool them. "My 6 divine beasts, you don't have to worry about me running away. Even if I wanted to run away, I wouldn't be able to. Let's have a chat." Yun Chujio said with a smile. This fellow's head was spinning rapidly. What could she say to attract their attention? Only then could she quietly stall for time and even find an opportunity to escape. After the 6 demonic beasts heard Yun Chujio's words, they didn't say anything. Yun Chujio knew that this was tacit approval. Thus, she said curiously, "My 6 divine beasts, I'm very curious. This godforsaken place only has some wild grass. What do you eat? Don't you eat anything?" Chapter 1488, Which one of you will eat meth? 6 demonic beasts showed a look of disdain in their huge eyes. Obviously, they felt that Yun Chujio's question was too stupid. How could there be a demonic beast that could survive without eating? "My 6 divine beasts, it seems that the question I asked was too stupid. However, I'm really curious. Do you guys feed on these wild grasses? Oh my God, this is too unbelievable. Could it be that these grasses have some special effects?" Yun Chujio pulled out a few grasses as she spoke. She pretended to study them, as if she was really interested in those grasses. The 6 demonic beasts let out weird laughter. Obviously, they felt that Yun Chujio was too stupid. "My 6 divine beasts, it seems like my guess is wrong. You guys might eat something else. Alright, you've seen it too. I'm too thin and small. You definitely won't be able to share it. Which one of you will eat me? This is indeed a big problem. I don't want you to have conflicts because you ate me. How about this, you bring me to hunt? I'll see who is the most powerful among you and I'll let you eat me." Yun Chujio said with a smile. It was as if it was a happy thing to be eaten by these demonic beasts. The 6 demonic beasts cackled for a while. They were probably discussing, and the last demonic beast cackled a few times. Yun Chujio's heart was delighted. 6 divine beasts, are you agreeing? This is great. Before I die, I can still see your heroic hunting posture. I simply have no regrets in dying. The 6 demonic beasts clearly enjoyed Yun Chujio's flattery and started to W. Yun Chujio continued, "My 6 divine beasts, let's set off. Should I run in front or follow behind you?" The 6 demonic beasts were in a dilemma. Yun Chujio was definitely not allowed to stay behind. What if this little thing sneaked away? If she was at the front and she didn't know the way, what should she do? Yun Chujio said with difficulty, How about I boldly sit on the back of one of you? This way, you don't have to worry about me escaping. The 6 demonic beasts quacked for a while, and then one of the demonic beasts bent down. Yun Chujio knew that this meant that they agreed to let her ride on their backs. Hence, this fellow climbed onto the turtle shell of one of the demonic beasts. Well, the turtle shell of this demonic beast was more than 10 feet wide. Yun Chujio would not fall even if she rolled on it. Yun Chujio ridiculed in her heart. Damn it, you guys are so big, yet you have to eat me? I'm not even enough to fill the gaps between your teeth. The demonic beast saw that Yun Chujio had already climbed up, so it stood up and the 6 demonic beasts quickly rushed forward. Yun Chujio was very pleased. You want to eat me? Aren't you guys still obediently becoming my free mounts? You might be able to find a way to escape when you arrive at the place where these demonic beasts hunt. You want to eat me? Dream on. Yun Chujio stood on the turtle shell and looked into the distance. There was a touch of blue in the distance. Could it be the sea? An hour later, Yun Chujio finally saw the touch of blue clearly. It turned out to be a huge lake. It seemed that these 6 demonic beasts ate the aquatic demonic beasts in the lake. When they were not hunting, they lived on land. When the 6 demonic beasts came to the lakeside, the demonic beast carrying Yun Chujio motioned for Yun Chujio to come down. Yun Chujio obediently jumped down from the shell of the demonic beast. 6 divine beasts, it seems that you are feeding on the aquatic demonic beasts in the lake. Then, you can start the competition now. Whoever catches the aquatic demonic beasts of a higher level will be the most powerful. I will let whoever eats me. If you are worried that I will escape, then you can form 3 groups and compete in groups. Yun Chujio said with a smile. Chapter 1489, We've been fooled. The 6 demonic beasts quacked and discussed for a while. Then, 3 demonic beasts climbed into the lake. Their mountain-like bodies quickly disappeared. It was clear that the lake was very deep. Yun Chujio couldn't help but sigh. Hey, demonic beasts were so simple. Even if they had cultivated their human bodies, they still couldn't outsmart humans. After a while, Yun Chujio stretched her neck and looked into the lake. She said worriedly, Aya, why haven't the 3 godly beasts come up yet? Could they be in danger? The other 3 demonic beasts cackled in disdain. They clearly felt that Yun Chujio's question was very childish. They were like overlords in the lake. No aquatic demonic beasts were their match. No, I have to go down and take a look. I'm really worried. Yun Chujio jumped into the lake after saying that. The 3 demonic beasts were stunned. This little girl was too kind, right? She was actually so worried about our companions? She was overestimating herself. What was the use of her going down to take a look? She might even be eaten by other aquatic demonic beasts. Just as they were thinking, they noticed Yun Chujio's little head popping out from the other side of the lake. Then, she rode on a red 2-tailed fox and ran away. The 3 demonic beasts finally understood. They had been tricked. That damned brat. She was too cunning. The 3 demonic beasts raised their heads and screeched. Then, they quickly climbed into the lake. After they climbed onto the other side, they quickly chased after Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio sat on the back of Xiao Hong's red fox. She was very pleased with herself. Little fellow, you still want to eat me? I can't play you to death. Xiao Hong, now is the time to unleash your abilities. Run as fast as you can. I don't believe that you can't outrun those 3 bastards. Xiao Hong's heart was on the verge of collapse. Master, my spiritual power isn't as high as theirs, and am carrying a burden like you on my back. Can I outrun them? Although Xiao Hong was cursing in her heart, her 4 legs were struggling with all their might as she ran forward with all her might. Yun Chujio soon saw the 3 monsters chasing after her. She had no choice but to put Xiao Hong away and rely on her 2 legs to run. Yun Chujio ran faster than Xiao Hong and gradually increased the distance between her and the 3 monsters. In the end, the 3 monsters only became 3 Xiao Hadits. Yun Chujio finally let out a sigh of relief. Oh my God, I've finally saved my life. Yun Chujio continued to run forward and looked around. Compared to the desolation on the other side of the lake, this place was much better. The grass was green and there were some medicinal herbs occasionally. However, Yun Chujio was in a hurry to run for her life and didn't have time to pick them. Yun Chujio was running forward when she saw a group of people coming from the opposite side. There seemed to be dozens of people. It was too late for Yun Chujio to avoid them. Yun Chujio. It's that damned girl, Yun Chujio. I've been searching for her everywhere, and it didn't take me long to find her. Yun Chujio, today is the day you die. The leader of the group said fiercely. You are from the Netherworld Palace? How did you gather together? Isn't this teleportation random? Yun Chujio looked at them. These people were all wearing the clothes of the Netherworld Palace. It was really strange. The teleportation locations were all random. Why were so many of them gathered together? The person in the lead sneered. It can only be said that the heavens have eyes. We were all coincidentally teleported to this area. Even the heavens want you to die. Although your talisman seal is powerful, the use of talisman seals is prohibited in this burning sky mystic realm. You'd better obediently accept your death. Chapter 1490 Borrowing Beasts to Kill People. Yun Chujio's heart skipped a beat. How could it be such a coincidence? It was said that the sky-burning secret realm was extremely large. How could the people of the Netherworld Hall be teleported together? Could it be just a coincidence? However, now was not the time to think about these things. It was better to think of a way to escape. The spiritual power of these people was generally higher than mine. She definitely could not defeat them. What should she do? Before Yun Chujio could think of a way, the leader of the Netherworld Hall waved his hand. This darn girl is full of bad ideas. Let's go, lest she comes up with another bad idea. When the people of the Netherworld Hall heard that, they immediately surrounded Yun Chujio in the middle and fired their spiritual power attacks at Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio had no choice but to activate the defensive spiritual tool on her body, and then she began to release the little piglet of spiritual power. Although those people had witnessed Yun Chujio's abnormal performance of the little piglet of spiritual power, they were still shocked. This damn little piglet, not only could it devour spiritual power, but it could also be kept for its own use. It was really too abnormal. However, although the little piglet of spiritual power was very abnormal, the opponent had a total of 30 to 40 people. No matter how abnormal Yun Chujio was, she could not defeat them. She could only rely on the defensive spiritual tool to struggle. What should she do? Although she had a lot of defensive spirit tools on her, she would not be able to withstand such a disaster. She had to think of a way. Or else, would she be able to escape through an opening? That was not right. She had already run for half a day just now. Her stamina would definitely not be able to compete with theirs. Moreover, what if there were still people from the Netherworld Palace in front of her? What should she do? Just as Yun Chujio was frowning, she caught a glimpse of the 3 black dots that were getting bigger and bigger. She immediately had an idea in her mind. They'll let you dogs fight dogs. That's right, let's do it. Yun Chujio suddenly rushed towards the few people in the north. This guy had a defensive spirit tool on him and was not afraid of being attacked. She was not afraid of those people but was afraid. When she saw that Yun Chujio was a little piglet of spiritual power and a little purple needle, she quickly dodged. Yun Chujio took the opportunity to sneak out. Scum, let me tell you, do you think that I am alone? My reinforcements are here. Just wait to be wiped out. Yun Chujio ran as she shouted arrogantly. Your reinforcements? What kind of reinforcements can you have? Those trash from Tianyuan Academy? We must kill her today. The leader of the people from the Netherworld Palace followed closely behind. Tsuke, you guys really don't know what's good for you. Don't blame me for not warning you guys. My reinforcements are very scary. If you guys run now, it's still not too late. Otherwise, just wait for your death. Yun Chujio said arrogantly. The more Yun Chujio said this, the more the people from the Netherworld Palace felt that Yun Chujio was bluffing. They felt that this was a great opportunity to make a contribution and naturally, they would not give up so easily. They chased after Yun Chujio with all their might. The people of the Netherworld Hall cursed as they chased after her. Damn it, this brat ran really fast. However, no matter how fast she could run, she would not be able to escape from their hands. Yun Chujio saw that the black dot was getting bigger and bigger. She gritted her teeth. Victory and defeat depended on this one move. She shouted at the top of her voice, "Lord Divine Beast! Lord Divine Beast! I've helped you find a lot of reserve rations. Come and take a look. Lord Divine Beast! Lord Divine Beast! This time, it's enough for you to distribute. You don't have to compete anymore. You can eat your fill directly." The people of the Netherworld Hall were puzzled. What nonsense was this brat talking about? Divine Beast? Reserve rations? What the heck was that? Then, when they saw the 3 huge monsters charging over, they were dumbfounded. Chapter 1491. They had been fooled again when the 3 demonic beasts saw Yun Chujio. They raised their heads and roared angrily. Actually, this area was no longer their area of activity. However, they were all mad with anger. There was only one thought in their minds, that was to rip the little girl who was playing with them into pieces. Lord Divine Beast, Lord Divine Beast, quickly! I was afraid that you wouldn't have enough to share, so I found so much food for you. Enjoy it to your heart's content. Since the 3 divine beasts aren't here, you can have some more. Yun Chujio acted as if nothing had happened. She happily waved her hand at the 3 demonic beasts. The 3 demonic beasts were obviously confused. What did she mean? She said that she wasn't running away, but she was here to find food for them? The people of the Netherworld Palace were so scared that their legs went soft. Although they didn't know what kind of demonic beasts these 3 behemoths were, the pressure they emitted was definitely not lower than level 27. Could they be Yun Chujio's spiritual pets? Lord Divine Beast, don't just stand there. Aren't you going to eat the snacks that were delivered to your door? It wasn't easy for me to trick them into coming here. Don't let them escape. Yun Chujio said anxiously. When the people of the Netherworld Palace heard Yun Chujio's words, they were even more certain that these 3 demonic beasts were Yun Chujio's spiritual pets. They were so scared that they ran as fast as they could. When the 3 demonic beasts saw the people from the Netherworld Palace running away, they subconsciously chased after them. The smelly girl was right. No matter what, they had to eat these people first. After all, the smelly girl wouldn't be able to run away. The people from the Netherworld Palace were really unlucky. Although they had quite a number of people, how could they be a match for these 3 demonic beasts? Not only were the 3 demonic beasts strong, but they could also shoot water arrows. When the huge water arrows hit people, they could kill them with a single move. Yun Chujio was speechless. Damn, these 3 bastards were probably at least at level 27. She had used them to kill the people from the Netherworld Palace. However, how could she escape? No matter what, she had to lower the 3 bastards' guard first. Therefore, this guy was cheering from the side. Lord Divine Beast number 1, good job. Yes, use your heroic claws to kill them. Lord Divine Beast number 2, your water arrows are simply too powerful. Put in more effort and kill them all. Lord Divine Beast number 3, you are really too brave. Yes, bite them to death. Although the 3 demonic beasts were dealing with the people from the Netherworld Palace, they had been staring at Yun Chujio from the corner of their eyes. They were afraid that Yun Chujio would run away again. When they saw that Yun Chujio was cheering for them with all her might and had no intention of running away, they finally let down their guard. Since the 3 demonic beasts were excited to kill, they did not pay much attention to Yun Chujio anymore. Anyway, they could hear her shouting and cheering all the time. It seemed that she would not be able to run away. In less than an hour, the 3 demonic beasts had killed all the people of the Netherworld Palace. Only then did they remember to seek revenge on Yun Chujio. However, when they turned their heads, they were so angry that they almost fainted. Where was Yun Chujio's figure? There was only a rock-like object on the ground that was still broadcasting Yun Chujio's shouts. Lord number 2 Divine Beast, your water arrows are simply too powerful. Put in more effort and kill them all. The 3 demonic beasts were so angry that they started to lash out. They had been tricked again. This damn brat had too many ideas. They wanted to chase after her, but they had no idea where Yun Chujio had run off to. Moreover, this place was already very far from their territory. Even though they were so angry that they were screaming, they could only give up chasing after Yun Chujio. Chapter 1492, Stone Rain. At this moment, Yun Chujio was riding on Xiao Hong's red fox and was showing off. Tsk, whether it's a human or a demonic beast, everything else is secondary. The main thing is to have brains. Those people from the Netherworld Palace are so eager to kill me. I just used a little trick and succeeded in using the demonic beast to kill people. And those 3 bastards, they want to eat me? Not only did they not eat me, but they even helped me to kill my enemies. They are simply a model of helping others. Xiao Hong could not help but admire her black-hearted master. She was clearly in a desperate situation, but she actually came up with the idea of borrowing beasts to kill people. Moreover, she even used the sound recording stone to escape. It was really bad. Xiao Hong, increase your speed. Although those 3 bastards probably won't chase after me, it's better for us to run far away in order to be safe. Xiao Hong and Yun Chujio ran all the way. Yun Chujio was still not idle. Xiao Hong, your speed is still not good. You have to train more in the future. In the future, when Master and I run for our lives, there will definitely be many times. When that time comes, I'll be up to you. Xiao Hong felt that it was dark. Other pet owners had to let the demonic beasts cultivate properly, but this black-hearted master of Xiao Hong had to let it practice and bring her to run for their lives. When Xiao Hong was exhausted from running, Yun Chujio finally said with great kindness, I reckon that those 3 big bastards won't be able to catch up with us. Let's take a break for a while. Your performance today was not bad. I'll reward you with a drumstick. Xiao Hong ate the drumstick with tears in her heart. Was it easy for this king? She was almost exhausted to death because of a drumstick. After resting for 2 hours, Yun Chujio rode on Xiao Hong and slowly walked forward. Yun Chujio looked around and mumbled, didn't they say that there are many spirit herbs, spirit tools, and immortal tools in this burning sky mystic realm? Why didn't I find anything? Not to mention that mysterious opportunity. Could it be that I entered a fake mystic realm? Speaking of which, this spirit herb is easy to talk about. That thing grew on the ground. Where is this spirit tool or something? It can't be falling from the sky, right? Before Yun Chujio finished her words, she felt something smashing down from above her head. She hurriedly raised her defensive barrier. Xiao Hong leaped forward with all her might and managed to dodge it with great difficulty. Yun Chujio turned her head and saw a deep pit on the ground. Yun Chujio carefully moved closer to the side of the pit to take a look. She saw that there was a big rock in the deep pit. Yun Chujio frowned. A rock fell from the sky? Yun Chujio shot out several purple lightning bolts at the big rock. After the rock was split open, there was actually a jade token inside. Yun Chujio took it out and looked at it. She was happy. It was actually a high-grade defensive spiritual tool. Could it be that this burning sky mystic realm really dropped a spiritual tool from the sky? Oh my, I used to think that dropping a pie from the sky was a joke. Now it seems that there really is a time for a pie to fall from the sky. Yun Chujio simply picked up the little red fox to prevent any more rocks from falling down and injuring the little red fox. Yun Chujio strolled forward slowly. Needless to say, after 2 hours, Yun Chujio once again dodged a big rock. After splitting open the big rock, she found another defensive spirit tool inside. Just as Yun Chujio was feeling happy, the big rock began to fall from the sky. This fellow was miserable. The big rock was already very heavy. Moreover, it fell from the sky. If it was hit by the rock, it would definitely be seriously injured. If it was not, it might even end up with its life. Yun Chujio did not bother to pick up any spiritual weapons. She activated the defensive spiritual weapon and dashed forward, wanting to leave the area where the rock rain was. Chapter 1493, Xiao Hong the Red Fox who became smarter. Fuck. He wants to smash me into a pie. If this is the norm, it's fine. But if I find out who's behind this, I'll kill him. Yun Chujio cursed as she ran. Fortunately, Yun Chujio had a lot of defensive spirit tools on her. Although she had damaged a lot of them, she had finally left the area where the stone rain was. Yun Chujio panted for a while and then walked to the edge of the stone rain and began to crack the stones. Damn it! The wool came out from the sheep. Didn't you ask me to destroy a lot of defensive spirit tools? You'll get some more from these stones. Yun Chujio's thought was right, but after she had cracked a few stones, she was so angry that she started to twitch. These were actually ordinary stones. There was no defensive spirit tool in them at all. Are you playing with me? Very good, these wicked things were most likely done by the secret realm's Qi Ling. Just you wait, it's fine if I can't find you, but if I can find you, it'll make you the most miserable Qi Ling in history. At this time, the sky had gradually darkened, and Yun Chujio decided to find a place to spend the night. Yun Chujio found a small mound and put her all-purpose small tent to one side to take shelter from the wind. After eating dinner, she lay inside to rest. The three little ones took turns to be on guard to prevent any demonic beasts from attacking. Just as Yun Chujio was sleeping soundly, she heard Xiao Hei squeaking anxiously. Yun Chujio hurriedly left the tent in shock. When Yun Chujio saw the scene in front of her, her scalp could not help but feel a little numb. There were more than 100 blood-eyed saber-toothed mice surrounding her. Moreover, there was an endless stream of blood-eyed saber-toothed mice coming out from the small mound. Yun Chujio could not help but smile bitterly. Damn it, it turned out that she was sleeping next to the rat hole. Yun Chujio put away the universal tent and then confronted the rats. Xiao Hei rats roared angrily, hoping to use its bloodline to suppress the rats. Unfortunately, although Xiao Hei rats had a much higher bloodline than the blood-eyed saber-toothed rats, its spiritual power level was not as high as the blood-eyed saber-toothed rats. Moreover, the other party had a lot of them, so they did not put Xiao Hei rats in their eyes at all. A rat king that was obviously larger than the other blood-eyed saber-toothed rats squeaked, and then all the blood-eyed saber-toothed rats pounced on Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio had no choice but to release her spiritual power piglets to deal with the rats. Xiao Hong, the red fox, and the little black rats also joined the battle. However, there were too many blood-eyed saber-toothed rats. Although Yun Chujio had killed dozens of them. However, there were still hundreds of them crazily gnawing at Yun Chujio's defensive barrier. The defensive spiritual artifact began to crack and shatter. Yun Chujio could not help but smile bitterly. She was afraid that she would have to account for her little stock today. Xiao Hong said while burning the blood-eyed saber-toothed rats with fireballs, "Master, don't you have rapeseed oil? Burn them to death. Anyway, you have the fire-repelling pearl, so you are not afraid of the fire." Yun Chujio's eyes lit up. She quickly took out the rapeseed oil from her storage ring and poured it on the rats. After Xiao Hong and Xiao Hong's fireballs met with the rapeseed oil, the fire started to burn. The blood-eyed saber-toothed rats were burned into a mess. The moment they ran, the fire spread even faster. It was filled with shrill screams. Yun Chujio relied on the fire-repelling pearl, but nothing happened. Taking advantage of the chaos among the rats, she ran away. "Xiao Hong, I didn't expect you to be so smart at the crucial moment. This time, I'll reward you with a huge merit. I'll reward you with 5 roast chickens." "Oh right, you weren't so smart before? Could it be that you've gained a tail and are smarter than before?" Chapter 1494 was what Yun Chujio said true or false. The more Yun Chujio thought about it, the more she felt that what she said made sense. How treacherous was the 9-tailed fox? It was even more treacherous than this silly Xiao Hong. It was estimated that as the number of tails increased, the intelligence of the fox would also increase. Yun Chujio ran for more than 100 li in one breath. She felt that the distance was safe enough, so she sat down on the ground and panted heavily. "I've entered so many secret realms, and this is the most passive one. Damn it, Qi Ling, there might be some dirty tricks waiting for me." Yun Chujio gnashed her teeth and said, "Master, what should we do?" Xiao Hong asked worriedly. "Just deal with it as it comes. Tian Dao, that old bastard, didn't kill me, so why should I be afraid of a small Qi Ling? You guys are in charge of guarding, I'll take a nap." After Yun Chujio finished speaking, she took out the small tent and continued to sleep. Not long after, she fell asleep. Xiao Hong thought to herself, their black-hearted master was really big. They had just experienced a fierce battle and fell asleep just like that. No one else had such a strong character. The next day, Yun Chujio continued to ride Xiao Hong and strolled forward. She found a few medicinal herbs and kept them in her storage ring. Yun Chujio's heart sank when she saw several black dots walking over from afar. Could they be from the Netherworld Palace again? Yun Chujio wanted to avoid them, but she could not avoid them. She could only brace herself and walk forward. She could only hope that they were not from the Netherworld Palace. The heavens did not grant her wishes. When she approached them, Yun Chujio sadly realized that these people were really from the Netherworld Palace. Those people immediately surrounded Yun Chujio in the middle. The person in the lead laughed sinisterly. Yun Chujio, TSK, we originally thought that this burning sky mystic realm was so big that we would not be able to find you in a short period of time. We did not expect to meet you so easily. It's really a narrow road for enemies. Yun Chujio cursed in her heart. How was it a narrow road for enemies? It was clearly the artifact spirit who had played a trick. Otherwise, why would she not be able to meet a person from the Tianyuan continent and instead meet so many people from the Netherworld Palace? What should she do now? There were not many defensive spirit tools left on her body. They could not last for long. Moreover, there were no beasts that she could use anymore. Although Yun Chujio was anxious in her heart, her face was calm as she said indifferently, "What's the big deal? I have already killed dozens of you." Humph. Yun Chujio, aren't you afraid of losing your tongue when you talk big? Although your strength isn't weak, you can't use talisman seals in this burning sky mystic realm. Can you kill dozens of us by yourself? The people of the Netherworld Hall sneered and said, "I've never lied. Among the people I've killed, one of them has a black mole the size of a soybean at the corner of his mouth, one has a scar on his left face, and one has a square eyebrow." The more they heard, the more frightened they became. These people that Yun Chujio mentioned were really their people. Could they really have been killed by Yun Chujio? How was this possible? How could Yun Chujio kill so many people alone? I'm not lying to you, right? Actually, I don't like fighting and killing the most. I talked to them for a long time, but they seemed to think that they were so powerful. In less than an hour, they were all killed by me. If you don't believe me, feel free to try. You can be their companion, Yun Chujio said with a smile. The people from the Netherworld Palace hesitated. Was what Yun Chujio said true? If she had really killed those people, they would have ended up the same way. This wretched girl was full of evil tricks. Perhaps she still had some tricks up her sleeve. Should they fight or not? Chapter 1495. There was no way to enter heaven or earth. Seeing that they were hesitating, Yun Chujio did not rush them. She stood there calmly and said with a smile, "Take your time to think about it. There's no rush. Anyway, I've never heard of anyone who is in a hurry to die." The people of the Netherworld Hall were quickly divided into two factions. Some people thought that Yun Chujio was just lying and killing her was enough. Others thought that what Yun Chujio said was true and could not be rushed forward, otherwise, they would lose their lives. The people of the two factions were unable to reach a consensus, and the situation was in a stalemate. Yun Chujio took advantage of this time to constantly plan in her mind how to escape. She definitely could not beat them in a fight. Not to mention that she was only at the 5th level of the Spirit Saint realm. Even a first-level spirit paragon would not be able to deal with so many people. Yun Chujio thought about it and could only take the opportunity when they were not paying attention to break out of the encirclement and run for her life. She was still confident in her movement technique. When she encountered a favorable terrain, she could take the opportunity to escape. Let's do it. As Yun Chujio thought of this, she suddenly pointed at the sky. The people of the Netherworld Palace were arguing non-stop. When they heard Yun Chujio's words, they subconsciously raised their heads to look at the sky. Yun Chujio took this opportunity to leap forward suddenly. She rushed out of the encirclement and ran forward quickly. It was only then that the people of the Netherworld Palace realized that they had been tricked. They were so angry that they gritted their teeth and chased closely behind her. Damn it! It's all your fault. All of you are as timid as mice. If you had rushed up just now, You would have killed this bitch long ago. Blame us? If you really dared to attack, why didn't you? Weren't you afraid that Yun Chujio would have some secret tricks up her sleeve? That's right. You don't have the guts to blame us. If you have the ability, you can fight Yun Chujio one-on-one later. She won't torture you to death. Enough. All of you shut up. Hurry up and capture Yun Chujio for the proper business. The leader was so angry that he was twitching. Who the hell are you? Why are you still speaking up for Yun Chujio? Yun Chujio ran all the way and realized that the people behind her were still quite a distance away from her. She could not help but heave a sigh of relief. At this speed, as long as she found a dense forest or something, she would be able to get rid of them. At this moment, dozens of people came in front of her. When Yun Chujio saw their clothes, she felt a buzz in her head. They were from the Netherworld Palace again. It's over. She was afraid that this time, she was really going to die. There was a wolf in front and a tiger behind. Both sides were a bottomless abyss. Was she going to jump off the cliff? Wait a minute, jump off the cliff? Yun Chujio's eyes lit up. She had the help of the sticky silk. Yun Chujio quickly took out the sticky silk and climbed down the cliff. However, this fellow had overlooked a very important problem. The last time at the Crimson Cloud Valley, the cliff was shrouded in clouds, so when she climbed down, no one noticed her. However, this time, the cliff was not covered by clouds at all. The two groups of people soon discovered Yun Chujio, who was hanging on the cliff and climbing down. The people of the Netherworld Palace began to attack Yun Chujio with their spiritual power. Yun Chujio was really unlucky. She was a living target hanging on the cliff. Although she had a defensive spiritual weapon to support her, it would not take long for her spiritual weapon to be completely exhausted. Yun Chujio looked down the cliff. She was still a few thousand feet above the ground. She reckoned that before she reached the bottom of the cliff, her defensive spiritual weapon would be completely exhausted. The worst part was, some of the people of the Hall of the Netherworld had already put down their ropes and started to climb down. Even if Yun Chujio reached the ground, they could immediately surround and attack her. Yun Chujio's little face twitched. There was no way out for her. Was there really no way out for her? Chapter 1496 Xiao Hei's Thunderbolt. No door to enter the ground? Wait, although she had no door to enter the ground, there was still a door to enter the cave. Yun Chujio crawled to a slightly sunken area and pulled Xiao Hei out. Xiao Hei began to dig a hole and soon dug out a cave that could accommodate Yun Chujio. After Yun Chujio hid in it, she let out a sigh of relief. In this cave, at least she could avoid the attacks from above. The people of the Netherworld Hall would not be able to kill her in a short time. The people of the Netherworld Hall were dumbfounded. Damn, why did that wretched girl suddenly disappear? Hall Master Li, Yun Chujio has entered a cave. The assassin who had already descended to the ground shouted. What? She had entered a cave? How could there be a cave on the cliff? The people of the Netherworld Hall were at a loss of what to do. As Yun Chujio was hiding in the cave and her spiritual power could not be used to attack, there was no way to harm Yun Chujio at all. Hall Master Li had no choice but to let his men climb down the rope and enter the cave to kill Yun Chujio. The 8 killers were climbing down the rope when they saw Yun Chujio say with a mischievous smile on her face, "Io, are you here to die? Then I'll send you on your way." Yun Chujio waved her hand repeatedly, and the purple lightning instantly broke the ropes of the 8 assassins. The 8 of them cried out in shock as they fell down. Although the assassins below helped to push them away, reducing a part of their strength, they still fell to the ground half dead. Yun Chujio shouted arrogantly in the cave, "Little things, why don't you continue to climb down? I can't kill you. You want to kill me? Dream on." The people of the Netherworld Hall were so angry that they gritted their teeth, but they couldn't think of any good idea. Sending people to climb down was definitely not going to work, and climbing up was even more impossible. The little brat could easily take their lives. Hall Master Li, what should we do now? Are we just going to watch Yun Chujio fail to catch us? Hall Master Li frowned and thought for a while, then he smiled sinisterly. Just let her show off for a while. When the sky turns dark, we can secretly climb down again. I don't believe that she can keep staring at us without sleeping. As night fell, Hall Master Li sent 8 more people to secretly climb down the cliff. They planned to sneak close to Yun Chujia's cave under the cover of the night. At this moment, with Yun Chujia's cave as the center, the surrounding area was as bright as day. Yun Chujia's little head poked out. Yo, a mouse is coming out of the cave as soon as the sky turns dark? It's a good time to use my little 9 to strike the whack-mole. He'll strike. 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 The 8 people were really unlucky. The rope was cut off by Yun Chujio, and they fell down while screaming. The people below were all scared silly, and they couldn't react for a moment. They could only watch as the 8 people fell to their deaths. Hall Master Li was so angry that he was twitching. That damned brat. There was actually a luminous pearl. The 2 sides were in a stalemate. The people of the Netherworld Hall couldn't kill Yun Chujio, and Yun Chujio couldn't escape either. Hall Master Li, can we only stand guard like this? This is too fucking depressing. Yun Chujio is right in front of us, but we can't kill her. Yes, please think of a way. Dragging this on is not a way. Hall Master Li frowned. He wanted to kill Yun Chujio, but the smelly girl was hiding in the cave in the middle of the cliff. There was no way to get close, let alone kill her. Chapter 1497, Hostages. Just as Hall Master Li was frowning, a subordinate came to report, Hall Master Li, we have captured a few people. From the looks of it, they should be students from the Tian Yuan Academy. Do you want to kill them or keep them? Hall Master Li's heart moved. Bring them here. Hall Master Li sized up the 7 people who were captured. They were all wearing the Tian Yuan Academy's uniform. He sneered and asked, what are your names? What grade are you in? 6 of them did not say a word. However, a fatty said loudly, ill talk. My name is Wu Heng. I'm from the 4th grade Tianzi class. The 3 of them are also from the Tianzi class. Those 3 are from the Xianzi class. Sir, I've already said it. Just let me go. Hall Master Li snorted coldly, let you go? On what basis do I let you go? Wu Heng's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He rolled his eyes and said, my lord, Yun Chujio and I are enemies. She often bullied me in Tian Yuan Academy and almost caused me to be expelled. The enemy of the enemy is a friend, so, please let me go. Wu Heng, you cowardly scum. But a male student scolded angrily. Wu Heng shouted fiercely, I'm not wrong. That bitch Yun Chujio framed me for pulling out the tail feathers of the red-beaked long-feathered crane, causing me to take the blame and almost get fired. I can't wait for that bitch to die 100 times. Oh right, sir, the 3 of them are in the same class as Yun Chujio, especially that Nangong Luiwe, who is also the bitch's deskmate. Perhaps in the future, when you meet Yun Chujio, you can use her to blackmail Yun Chujio. Nangong Luiwe was so angry that she gnashed her teeth. Wu Heng, you shameless scum. You will die a horrible death. Although Wu Heng was a little guilty, he thought about it. If one doesn't do one's best, the heavens will punish the earth. Furthermore, Yun Chujio, that bitch, deserved to die. Hall Master Li, on the other hand, laughed loudly. He was worried that he wouldn't be able to kill Yun Chujio, but he didn't expect the hostage to come to his doorstep. He could use these few people to force that bitch Yun Chujio to come out of the cave. As long as she came out of the cave, she would definitely die. Hall Master Li sent people to bring Nangong Luoyue and the others to the bottom of the cliff from a few miles away. He also sent a portion of people to stay on the top and climb to the bottom of the cliff. Yun Chujio, look who we have captured. I heard that these are all your good classmates. Among them, Nangong Luoyue is your deskmate? Yun Chujio's heart sank. She stuck her head out and looked down. Sure enough, there were a few students of Tianyuan Academy who were controlled by the people of the Netherworld Hall, and Nangong Luoyue was one of them. Hall Master Li saw Yun Chujio stick her head out and continued, if you don't want them to die, then obediently climb down from the cave. Otherwise, I won't leave any of these people alive. Wu Heng also shouted from the side, right? Yun Chujio, you bitch, if you don't come out, they will all die. Aren't you the heaven's pride of the Tianyuan continent? Aren't you the Tianyuan's 3 pearls? Are you going to just watch them be killed? Yun Chujia's eyes deepened. There was still such a bastard involved? She really deserved to die. She definitely could not go out. Once she went out, not only would she die, but these people would also die. However, if she did not go out, the people of the Netherworld Hall would most likely start a knife fight with these people. Although she did not have a deep relationship with them, I did not kill Bo Ren, but Bo Ren died because of me. Moreover, there was still Nangong Luoyue inside. What should she do? Chapter 1498. The unexpected Nangong Luoyue Hall Master Li saw that Yun Chujio did not make any movements. He signaled with his eyes and an assassin stabbed a student from the heaven class. That student immediately screamed, "Yun Chujio, if you still don't come down, I will keep stabbing them with my sword. Do you have the heart to let them suffer because of you?" Hall Master Li said viciously. Yun Chujio's hands were tightly clenched together. Calm down, she must calm down now. She must think of a good way to get out, or else everyone would die. Hall Master Li saw that Yun Chujio still did not come out, and signaled for the assassins to continue stabbing. The students of Tianyuan Academy cried out in pain, but the parts that the assassins stabbed were not fatal, so they would not die for a while. Wu Heng was so frightened that his forehead was covered in sweat. He felt that he had to make a contribution, or else he wouldn't be able to live. Thus, he said, "Sir, although these people are Yun Chujio's classmates, they don't have as deep a relationship as Nangong Luoyue and Yun Chujio. Why don't you take care of that Nangong Luoyue properly? That slut Yun Chujio naturally wouldn't be able to endure it." Hall Master Li's eyes flashed. This idiot's words made sense. "Yun Chujio, I didn't expect you to be so cold-hearted. I don't know if you are willing to part with this Nangong Luoyue. I'll count to 10. If you don't come out, I'll send someone to strip her of her clothes. If you don't come out, I'll reward this little girl to my brothers." Nangong Luoyue was so angry that she was trembling. "Wu Heng, and all of you will die a horrible death. Little Gio, don't bother about me. At worst, I'll just treat it as if I've been bitten by a dog. It's just a smelly skin. If they are willing to be tormented, then let them be." Yun Chujio's heart shook violently when she heard Nangong Luoyue's words. She never thought that the usually gentle and weak Nangong Luoyue would actually have such a backbone at such a critical moment. She was even stronger than those male students. Hall Master Li began counting. When he counted to 10, an assassin took off Nangong Luoyue's outer clothes. Even though Nangong Luoyue had already mentally prepared herself, she was still extremely embarrassed and indignant. Her lips were even bleeding from her bites. Yun Chujio was extremely resentful of her own incompetence. She had relied too much on external forces. Once she couldn't use the talismans and puppets, she would be nothing. What should she do? If Sister Luoyue were to be spoiled like this, she would never be able to forgive herself for the rest of her life. "Stop. Give me 2 hours to think about it. After all, this concerns my life. If you don't agree, then you can go ahead and attack. After all, no one's life is more important than mine." Yun Chujio decided to delay for a period of time. Hall Master Li rolled his eyes. In any case, he was not afraid of Yun Chujio playing any tricks with the hostage in hand. If she really pushed it, she might really not care about the lives of these people anymore. Therefore, he said viciously, "All right, I'll give you 2 hours. If you still don't come down, don't worry, I'll give you an answer in 2 hours. I'm a very kind person. I usually won't let people die because of me." The corner of Hall Master Li's eyes twitched. He had to admit that this Yun Chujio was really thick-skinned. Even at this time, she still didn't forget to praise herself. Yun Chujio retreated into the cave and released the 3 Xiaohanyo. The 4 of them gathered together to think of a way. "Do you have any good ideas?" "Master, why don't we fight them to the death?" Xiaohong said. "You idiot. There are more than 20 people under them, and they have hostages. We have no chance of winning." Xiaohanyo said disapprovingly. Chapter 1499. cut off his tongue. It was almost 2 hours, and the 4 of them had yet to come up with a safe plan. Yun Chujio gritted her teeth. Since there's no other good plan, then we can only do this. In a while, after we go down, what do you do? Master, this plan is still a little risky. Otherwise, you shouldn't go down. You're not familiar with them anyway, said Xiao Honghu. Sigh, although I'm not the kind of person who would sacrifice myself to help others, Sister Luiyue will take care of me no matter what. Moreover, I can't bear to watch them humiliate Sister Luiyue. Yun Chujio sighed and said. Although Xiao Hong felt that her black-hearted master was a little silly, she inexplicably felt more at ease in her heart. Her black-hearted master would do this for Nangong Luiyue. If she was in danger in the future, her black-hearted master would definitely not abandon her. Yun Chujio, 2 hours have passed. Have you considered it? If you still don't come out, I will get someone to continue giving this little beauty clothes. Hall Master Li said sinisterly. Yun Chujio poked her head out from the cave and said, If I go down, will you let them go? Swear on your inner demon oath. If you swear on your inner demon oath, I will go down. Hall Master Li thought that these people would be of no use other than to blackmail Yun Chujio, so it didn't matter if he let them go. Therefore, he swore on his inner demon oath according to Yun Chujio's words. Yun Chujio, can you come down now? I have another condition. That is, you cut off that Wu Heng's tongue. After you cut it off, if I don't go down, I will be struck by lightning and die a horrible death. Hearing Yun Chujio's words, Wu Heng was so scared that he almost sat on the ground. He hurriedly said, Hall Master Li, don't listen to that bitch's nonsense. She must be up to something. You can't fall for it. I am still useful. I can help you to deceive more students of Tian Yuan Academy. Hall Master Li's eyes narrowed. It was obvious that he was a little hesitant. Hall Master Li, if you can't bear to part with this fool, then forget it. You can't even satisfy such a small condition of mine. I'd better not go down. Yun Chujio retracted her body that had already stretched out. Hall Master Li waited for a moment. As long as he killed Yun Chujio, it would be a first merit. As for the other students from the Tian Yuan Academy, they were dispensable. Thus, he gritted his teeth and said, Men, cut out his tongue. Wu Heng was instantly scared out of his wits. Hall Master Li, no, you can't do this. I've helped you guys a great deal. Please spare me. Wu Heng was about to hug Hall Master Li's leg with tears streaming down his face when Hall Master Li impatiently kicked him away. Then he heard Wu Heng howl like a pig being slaughtered. Finally, he fainted from the pain. Yun Chujio, can you come down this time? If you dare to trick me, none of these people will survive. Hall Master Li said viciously. Don't worry. I always keep my word. I'm warning you, although I'm ready to die, I don't want to fall to my death because it's too ugly. If you attack me when I climb down, I'll climb back into the cave. Humph. You have quite a lot of demands. Climb down. We won't attack you midway. Hall Master Li snorted coldly. He thought that this smelly girl must be up to something. However, we have hostages and so many people. Are we afraid that you'll run away? Chapter 1500. Seeing that Hall Master Li had agreed, Yun Chujio climbed out of the hole and slowly climbed down. When the people of the Netherworld Hall saw Yun Chujio climbing down like a gecko, they couldn't help but wonder, how did this smelly girl do it? She could climb down without using a rope? This smelly girl was really strange. When Yun Chujio was about 10 feet above the ground, she suddenly waved her hand at the people below. Look at the hidden weapons. The people of the Netherworld Hall were stunned. When they thought of the chili noodles that Yun Chujio had thrown, they couldn't help but hold their breaths and hurriedly dodged. However, they didn't expect that Yun Chujio didn't throw anything down at all. Instead, she leaped with all her might and directly jumped in front of Hall Master Li. Hall Master Li was about to accept the challenge, but he didn't expect that he would suddenly stumble. He was actually directly held by Yun Chujio's kitchen knife at his neck. The entire process only lasted for a few seconds. Many people from the Netherworld Hall did not even have the time to react to what had happened before they realized that Hall Master Li's neck was held by Yun Chujio's kitchen knife. When Yun Chujio saw that she had successfully captured Hall Master Li, she finally heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. She used the kitchen knife to lightly cut Hall Master Li's neck, and fresh blood flowed out. If you don't want him to die, then release those people. Hall Master Li was so frightened that he said repeatedly, "Release, release them, quick, quick." A few assassins from the Netherworld Hall were about to release Nangong Luoyue and the others. However, a triangle-eyed man said, "We can't release them. If we release them, that bitch Yun Chujio will force us to release her as well. Then all our previous efforts will be in vain." Yun Chujio sneered and said, "Then, do you not want this Hall Master Li anymore?" Sanjiaoyan's eyes flickered. "Hall Master Li, for the sake of Vice Palace Master Lu, for the Netherworld Palace, you should sacrifice yourself. Yun Chujio, don't even think about using Hall Master Li to threaten us. Today, you and these people will die." Hall Master Li was so angry that he cursed, "Lu Hua, you heartless thing. I have always treated you well, but you actually treated me like this." San Jiaoyan pretended to be helpless and said, "Hall Master Li, we have a good personal relationship, but we cannot ruin Vice Palace Master Liu's big plan. In order to prevent you from suffering, I will send you on your way." After saying that, San Jiaoyan actually launched a spiritual attack at Hall Master Li, and a poisonous spiritual snake headed straight for Hall Master Li. Yun Chujio's heart skipped a beat, and she suddenly pushed Hall Master Li's back. Yun Chujio's push allowed Hall Master Li to dodge a part of the spiritual attack, but his left shoulder was still badly bitten. Hall Master Li suddenly realized that he had gained his freedom, and his first reaction was to shoot a spiritual power attack at San Jiaoyan. San Jiaoyan naturally did not want to be outdone, and the two of them started to fight. The other assassins of the Netherworld Hall were momentarily stunned, not knowing how to react. Yun Chujio naturally would not let go of such a good opportunity, and she rushed to the side of Nangong Luoyue and the others. She released a group of spirit energy piglets towards the assassins guarding them. Those assassins immediately surrounded Yun Chujio in the middle and started to fight with her. No one noticed that Xiao He had already sneaked out from underground and broke the ropes of Nangong Luoyue and the others. Although their spirit energy was still restricted, at least they could move. Yun Chujio saw that Xiao He had succeeded and suddenly rushed towards one of the killers. That killer subconsciously dodged, and Yun Chujio rushed to Nangong Luoyue and the other side and stretched out her hand to release their spiritual power. The six of them immediately formed a circle with Yun Chujio and started to fight with the people of the Netherworld Palace. Chapter 1501. Do you have to hate me so much? Although Nangong Luoyue and the other spiritual power levels were lower than those of the Netherworld Hall, after experiencing the fear of death, the energy that erupted from their bodies was not something that those assassins could compare to. Therefore, for the time being, Yun Chujio and the others did not fall into a disadvantageous position. However, Yun Chujio knew that this was only temporary. After all, the civil war between Hall Master Li and San Jiaoyan had left these assassins somewhat dumbfounded. Moreover, there were still more than 20 assassins on the cliff, so it was more important for them to flee for their lives first. Thinking of this, Yun Chujio said to Nangong Luoyue and the others, "Retreat." After the 7 people launched an intense wave of attacks, they began to run forward quickly. At this time, Hall Master Li finally relied on the help of his subordinates to kill San Jiaoyan. After swallowing a pill to stop the bleeding, he said angrily, "Chase. We must tear this bitch Yun Chujio into pieces." "Hall Master Li, what should we do with this person?" An assassin pointed at Wu Heng, who had just woken up and was about to escape. Hall Master Li said impatiently, "Humph, he's just a useless piece of trash. Just kill him." Wu Heng wanted to ask for mercy, but he realized that he couldn't speak at all. He ran forward like a madman and was killed by an assassin with a single sword strike. Before he died, he still couldn't understand why he had already betrayed Yun Chujio and the others. The people of the Netherworld Hall still wanted to kill him? Hall Master Li led his subordinates and chased after him relentlessly. The assassins on the cliff also climbed down and joined in the pursuit. Yun Chujio and the others ran all the way. Very soon, a few of them couldn't run anymore. They had been stabbed a few times by the people of the Netherworld Hall. Although it wasn't fatal, their injuries weren't light either. They had only relied on their will to survive just now. Seeing this, Yun Chujio took out a few heaven-grade blood coagulation pills and handed them to them. Although the few of them were curious about what kind of pill this pill with golden patterns was, they still swallowed it. They did not expect that the effect of the pill would be so miraculous. Not long after, the wounds actually started to heal. Although the people were very curious about the golden patterns on the pill, they did not ask much and ran forward with all their might. Yun Chujio looked behind her. There was still some distance between them and the people from the Netherworld Hall. As long as they could find an advantageous terrain, they should be able to get rid of them. Just as Yun Chujio was slightly relieved in her heart, more than 30 people suddenly appeared in front of her. Yun Chujio immediately saw the symbol of the Netherworld Hall on their bodies and her head could not help but buzz. Damn it, could it be that the damn Qi Ling had sent all the people from the Netherworld Hall here? What should they do now? If they met them, they had no chance of winning at all. Yun Chujio looked left and right. To the east was a valley, and to the west, there was a reflection of white light. It seemed to be water. Yun Chujio gritted her teeth and said, "Run to the west." Nangong Luoyue and the others also noticed the people coming from the opposite direction, and they also complained in their hearts. What bad luck! How could there be so many people from the Netherworld Palace? The people on the opposite side also noticed Yun Chujio and the others. Although they didn't see that it was Yun Chujio, when they heard Hall Master Li and the others' shouts, they immediately became excited and chased after her relentlessly. Yun Chujio gnashed her teeth in hatred. Didn't I just ruin your plan 3 times? Didn't I just ruthlessly slap your faces? Did you have to hate me so much? If the people of the Netherworld Palace knew that Yun Chujio thought so, they would probably slap her to death. Did you think that this was not enough for us to kill you 100 times? Chapter 1502 Nangong Luoyue and the others felt that this time, the odds were against them. There were more than 60 people from the Netherworld Palace chasing after them. Once they caught up with them, they would definitely die. When they discovered that there was an incomparably wide river in front of them, they almost cried. It was over. Why did Yun Chujio choose such a direction? Although they would not drown in the water, they did not have any offensive abilities in the water. If they encountered aquatic demon beasts, they would definitely die. The people from the Hall of the Netherworld chasing after them were overjoyed when they saw this. Let's see where you can run to this time. Don't tell me you still dare to jump into the river? It would be strange if the aquatic demon beasts in the river did not eat you. Yun Chujio gave Nangong Luoyue and the others a handful of waterproof beads. This is a waterproof bead. One can be used for 15 minutes. Just put it in your mouth and jump into the river with me. When Nangong Luoyue and the others saw the waterproof beads, they were delighted. With this waterproof bead, they didn't have to worry about drowning. After putting it in their mouths, they followed Yun Chujio and jumped into the river. After Yun Chujio jumped into the river, she realized that the river was not only wide, but also very deep. Her heart was moved. I have a boat. Yun Chujio waved her hand, and a large boat floated on the surface of the water. Everyone, get on the boat. I want to see how those bastards will chase us. Ha! Being rich is being willful. We can have as many boats as we want. Nangong Luoyue and the others were simply stunned. Yun Chujio actually had a ship? Wasn't this too unbelievable? Although the Tianyuan continent also had seas, those seas were very far away from the center of the continent. They were all located in remote areas, so very few people would have a ship. Everyone boarded the large ship. After Yun Chujio told a few male students how to control the ship, she boarded the deck. Looking at the people from the Netherworld Hall who were staring at the shore, she waved her claws. Hey, why aren't you chasing after her? Why aren't you chasing after her? Come and kill me. Hall Master Li was so angry that he gritted his teeth. That damned Yun Chujio. There's actually a ship? How detestable. Hall Master Zhu, what should we do? Should we just watch her escape? Hall Master Zhu was the leader of another group of people. He gritted his teeth. Of course we can't let her go so easily. Well, jump down and attack her boat to kill her. But what if we encounter aquatic beasts? Our spiritual power attacks will be greatly reduced in the water, especially when the brothers with fire spirit roots don't have the ability to attack at all in the water. Hall Master Lee said with difficulty. Those with fire spirit roots, don't go down. Just follow them on the shore. The rest of you, jump down. After all, we have the advantage in numbers. Even if we encounter aquatic demonic beasts, we won't be afraid. Hall Master Lee saw that Hall Master Zhu insisted and had no choice but to order everyone to jump into the river and chase after Yun Chujio's big boat. Yun Chujio stood on the deck and said arrogantly, "Do you think you are bastards? Do you still want to chase us? Can your dog paddles catch up with our big boat? You really overestimated your abilities. If you go at full speed, they won't be able to catch up even if they vomit blood." As expected, after Yun Chujio's big boat went at full speed, even though the people of the Netherworld Hall were extremely tired, they could only grit their teeth as they looked at the back of the boat. What bad luck. I didn't expect that bitch to actually have a boat. It makes me so angry. Hall Master Lee was so angry that he was twitching. Humph. There's no need to be disheartened. We just need to follow along the riverbank. When the time comes, well, think of a way to deal with that bitch. We can only do this. After the people of the Netherworld Hall came ashore, they chased along the riverbank. Chapter 1503 Aquatic Spirit Beast Yun Chujio saw that she had temporarily gotten rid of the people from the Netherworld Hall and sat down on the deck. Emma, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. I'm so tired. Nangong Luoyue and the others also heaved a sigh of relief. They thought that they would definitely die, but they didn't expect that they would actually get rid of the people from the Netherworld Hall. Little Gio, what should we do next? Nangong Luoyue asked. We can only stay on the boat for the time being. The people of the Netherworld Palace will not give up. They will definitely track us on the shore. We can only wait on the boat for the trial to end. However, their main target is me. If you guys want to leave, you can wait until it's dark and sneak onto the other shore, Yun Chujio said to Nangong Luoyue and the others. They shook their heads. Firstly, they felt that abandoning Yun Chujio was not a good idea. Secondly, they felt that it was safer to follow Yun Chujio. There might be people from the Netherworld Hall on the other side of the river. They were not a match for the people from the Netherworld Hall. 3 days passed in a row. The people from the Netherworld Hall were still chasing after them on the shore. Yun Chujio had the boat stop and go. If the people from the Netherworld Hall did not chase after them, the boat would stop on the river. If the people from the Netherworld Hall went into the water to chase after them, she had the boat go forward at full speed. The people of the Netherworld Palace were so angry that they were twitching. Just when the people of the Netherworld Palace were at their wits' end, they met another group of people from the Netherworld Palace. The leader was a Hall Master surnamed Yu. After he heard what Hall Master Lee had said about what had happened, he smiled sinisterly. Brothers, there's no need to be anxious. I am not talented, and my swimming ability is not bad. Moreover, many of my brothers have grown up by the sea. Moreover, they all have aquatic spiritual pets. It will be easy for me to take care of Yun Chujio and the others. You guys wait for my good news. Hearing that, Hall Master Lee and Hall Master Zhu were overjoyed. That's great. We're just waiting for your good news. It would be best if we can kill them in the water. Even if we can't kill them and force them to the shore, we'll definitely be able to kill them. Alright. The two of you will split into 2 groups and go to the opposite shore to prevent them from escaping from the opposite shore. After saying that, Hall Master Yu led his men and jumped into the river. After Hall Master Yu and the others summoned their aquatic spiritual pets, they rode on their spiritual pets and headed straight for Yun Chujio's ship. Nangong Luoyue, who was in charge of keeping watch on the deck, couldn't help but cry out in alarm, Little Gio! Little Gio! This is bad. They have aquatic spiritual beasts. They are catching up. Yun Chujio, who was in the middle of enjoying the hot pot, walked to the side of the deck and took a look. Sure enough, there were 10 people riding on the aquatic spiritual pets and chasing after the ship. Judging from their speed, they should be able to catch up in 15 minutes. Yun Chujio rubbed her chin and thought for a moment. If we let them catch up, we would be in a passive position as soon as they boarded the ship. It would be best if we took care of them in the water. Her purple lightning was quite powerful in the water. How about she jump into the river and kill a few of them first? Yun Chujio thought of this and said to Nangong Luoyue, "I'll jump into the river and kill them. You guys be careful and stay alert. Don't let anyone get close to our ship." Junior sister Jio, can you do it? It's too risky. It's better to wait for them to catch up to us and deal with them together. Nangong Luoyue anxiously stopped her. Don't worry. They might not be my match in the water. If they can't do it, I'll come back. I'm leaving. See you later. After saying this, Yun Chujio jumped down and directly dived into the river. Nangong Luoyue stamped her feet anxiously. Wasn't little Jio messing around? No matter how powerful you are, you can't kill 10 people. Moreover, they have aquatic spirit beasts. Chapter 1504 I'll let you feed the bastards. When the people of the Netherworld Hall on the shore saw that Yun Chujio had actually jumped off the boat, they couldn't help but be overjoyed. Had this wretched girl lost her mind? She had actually walked right into the trap. She was definitely going to die this time. Hall Master Yu and the others were experts in the water. Moreover, they had the help of the aquatic spirit beasts. Killing Yun Chujio was simply a piece of cake. Hall Master Yu and the others thought the same. When they saw Yun Chujio jump down, they couldn't help but twitch their lips. They thought to themselves, this Yun Chujio isn't as smart as the rumors say. She's simply extremely stupid. If she were to stay on the boat, they would still need to spend some effort to kill her. They didn't expect her to jump off the boat voluntarily and die. That's great. They saw that Yun Chujio did not come out of the water to catch her breath. They could not help but wonder, could it be that the stinky girl had drowned? An assassin said to Hall Master Yu, I'll go to the front to take a look. I think that stinky girl might have drowned. Hall Master Yu nodded. The assassin got his bloodthirsty catfish to speed up and swam towards the place where Yun Chujio had fallen into the water. When the assassin was searching for Yun Chujio, the bloodthirsty catfish he was riding started to roll violently. The assassin was caught off guard and fell into the water. Only then did he realize that the tail of the bloodthirsty catfish had been blown into a bloody mess. While he was in a daze, several small lightning bolts were swimming towards his vital parts. The assassin was so scared that he quickly dodged. Unexpectedly, those small lightning bolts actually turned around and chased after him. What the hell was this? Although some people could use intermediate-level materialization techniques to transform their spiritual power into aquatic demonic beasts, only the aquatic demonic beasts formed by advanced-level materialization techniques had intelligence. Yun Chujio's lightning bolt was obviously just lightning. How could it turn around? Yun Chujio did not have the time to let him think clearly. Not only did the purple lightning bolts shoot out frequently, but they also shot out several small purple needles. However, she realized that the speed of the small purple needles was far from the speed of the purple lightning bolts. She could only continue to shoot purple lightning to attack the assassin. The assassin was momentarily stunned. In addition, the blood of his bloodthirsty catfish dyed the surrounding river red and obstructed his vision. He was struck by the purple lightning and was actually killed just like that. Once the assassin died, the bloodthirsty catfish naturally died as well. The corpse of a man and a fish floated to the surface of the water. Nangong Luoyue and the others were stunned. The people from the Netherworld Hall by the shore were stunned. Hall Master Yu and the others were also stunned. How is this possible? In less than 15 minutes, that assassin and his spirit beast were actually killed by Yun Chujio? This was impossible. Hall Master Yu, could it be that Yun Chujio is very powerful in the water? An assassin asked with some unease. That shouldn't be the case. I think there might be a very powerful aquatic demonic beast ahead. Not only Li Yuan, but Yun Chujio might also have been eaten by that demonic beast. Everyone be careful and dive into the water to see what's going on. Hall Master Yu said. When everyone heard this, they all jumped into the water. They saw a figure swimming rapidly towards them from afar. Who else could it be but Yun Chujio with a smile? Aya, You are much dumber than Hall Masterly. You actually took the initiative to enter the river to die? If you know what's good for you, quickly scram back to the shore and I will spare you. Otherwise, that person just now will be your end. I will let you all feed the big bastards in the river. Yun Chujio said arrogantly. Chapter 1505. Try the little piggy Hall Master. You and the others were shocked. This stinky girl could actually talk in the water? How was this possible? Although the water repellent bead could allow people to move freely in the water, it was absolutely impossible to talk. Either her constitution was special, or she had a water repellent bead on her body. At the thought of the water repellent bead, everyone's eyes revealed a greedy look. The water repellent bead was a legendary existence. Even if it was for the sake of the water repellent bead, they had to kill this stinky girl. Hall Master Yu waved his hand, indicating for everyone to surround Yun Chujio. Unexpectedly, before they could go forward to surround her, Yun Chujio smiled darkly at them. Then, with a shake of her hand, she spilled something, causing the surrounding river water to turn pitch black. Just as everyone was panicking, they noticed several small purple lightning bolts shooting straight at them. Hall Master Yu and the others and the spiritual beasts quickly dodged. What shocked them was that the small lightning bolts could actually make a turn. This stinky girl was too strange. Not only was it strange on land, but it was also strange in water. It was obviously the simplest lightning bolt. How could it make a turn? Hall Master Yu gestured for everyone to calm down and got everyone to start attacking the front with their spiritual power. These people all had water spiritual roots and their spiritual power were all aquatic demonic beasts. They shot forward. Although they couldn't see Yun Chujio's exact location, that stinky girl was definitely in front. I'm seriously injured. I can't do it. I have to escape. Yun Chujio's screams and muttering came from the front. Hall Master Yu and the others were overjoyed. One of the killers immediately swam forward quickly. His spiritual pet, the iron-toothed shark, also rushed forward. After swimming for a while, the killer saw Yun Chujio swimming forward with all her might, and traces of blood spread as she swam forward. The killer was delighted. It seemed that this stupid girl was really injured. Although her little lightning was a little strange, as long as he was careful, it would be no problem. Moreover, he had the help of the iron-toothed shark. Thinking of this, the assassin sped up and chased after Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio turned around and saw him chasing after her. She couldn't help but sneer in her heart. TSK, little fellow, another one is courting death. They'll kill you all one by one. The assassin was chasing after her when he saw Yun Chujio suddenly stop swimming. Just when he was a little surprised, he saw Yun Chujio waving her left and right hands, and several purple bolts of lightning flew towards him and the giant iron-toothed shark. Although the assassin was a little surprised, he did not care too much. He shot out a spiritual eel and pounced towards Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio summoned 8 flying swords to protect herself. She continued to shoot purple lightning bolts at the assassin and the iron-toothed shark. After a few moves, Yun Chujio thought that it was not good. She still thought that things were too simple. It seemed that he was too careless to be able to kill that person previously. This was obviously not easy to deal with. Moreover, the people behind had already swam over. They would be able to catch up soon. If she could not finish the battle quickly, she would be surrounded. What should she do? The purple needle was not enough. She did not know how to use the intermediate level materialization spell. What if she could also materialize an aquatic demon beast? Yes, she would give it a try. Yun Chujio thought of this and started to use the intermediate level materialization spell. Then she sadly realized that she had released a cute little piglet of spiritual energy. The little piglet of spiritual power that had been released was clearly a little confused. Then, it swam toward the giant iron-toothed shark. Chapter 1506. The Invincible Piglet. The assassin and the steel-toothed shark looked at the piglet released by Yun Chujio with disdain. If the assassin did not have a waterproof bead in his mouth, he would definitely laugh out loud. This piglet was indeed very abnormal on land. However, It was useless in the water. As expected, the piglet clearly did not know how to swim. Its 4 short legs were flailing around randomly, and it even flipped over in a moment of carelessness. Its belly was facing upwards, as if it was drowned. Yun Chujio was dumbfounded. It seemed that the piglet clearly could not do it. It could only continue to use the purple lightning. She was afraid that she could not kill these people. If she really could not do it, she would first get on the boat. After all, she had the water-repellent bead, so she could swim much faster than these people. Seeing that the piglet was really too stupid, the steel-toothed giant shark also showed a disdainful expression. This water was the territory of their aquatic demon beasts, and this piglet still wanted to attack it? It was simply wishful thinking. It couldn't even swim, yet it still wanted to attack it? Just as the giant shark was feeling proud, it never expected that the piglet would suddenly flip over. Its hind legs kicked hard, and with a whoosh, it pounced on the giant shark's right eye. The giant shark was completely unprepared. Its right eye was directly turned into a bloody mess by the spiritual energy piglet, and the spiritual energy piglet also dissipated due to the exhaustion of spiritual energy. That assassin was completely stunned. Heavens, this little piglet of spiritual power actually knew how to feign death and deceive people? Was it going to become a spirit? How could an intermediate-level physical transformation technique materialize such a nimble little piglet? However, Yun Chujio was overjoyed. She had already said that her little piglet of spiritual power would not be so weak. Thinking back to that time, there was a famous pig. Yes, it was that pig Beiji. Didn't he manage 100,000 heavenly court sailors? Therefore, there was evidence that this pig could swim. This time, Yun Chujio was much more confident. This spiritual piglet was much more powerful than the purple lightning. Furthermore, it could devour the opponent's spiritual beasts. It was really great. Yun Chujio faced the assassin and the steel-toothed shark and released more than 10 spiritual piglets. These spiritual piglets changed from the previous spiritual piglet's ignorance. The moment they entered the water, they quickly swam towards the assassin and the steel-toothed shark. Moreover, they did not use their 4 short legs to paddle. Instead, they used their hind legs to kick the water. With a fierce leap, they could pounce onto the enemy's body. Seeing this, Yun Chujio could not close her mouth and smiled. Very good, very good. These little piglets were really too powerful. They were simply invincible little piglets. She could not close her mouth and smile. That assassin was really unlucky. Before he could recover from the perverse state of the little piglets, several little piglets had already pounced on him. He hurriedly released his spiritual ocean eel to block them. Who would have thought that the little piglets would swallow the spiritual ocean eel in just a few mouthfuls? Then, they pounced on him even more ferociously. Yun Chujio did not stay idle either. Although the purple lightning was not as powerful as the spirit power piglets, the purple lightning specialized in attacking vulnerable parts, such as the eyes. It was truly a sneak attack on a small expert. Although the assassin tried his best to resist, he still lost his life under the pincer attack of the spirit power piglets and the purple lightning. Once he died, his steel-toothed giant shark would also be finished. The corpse of the assassin and the steel-toothed shark floated to the surface of the river, and immediately, the people of the Netherworld Hall on the shore exploded. Oh my God, another one died. Didn't Hall Master you say that they were very powerful? How did they get killed by Yun Chujio in succession? That's right, they still couldn't kill Yun Chujio even with 10 of them and the demonic beasts? It seems like they were just bragging. You can't say that. I guess they didn't notice it at the beginning. Aren't there 8 people? Maybe it will be Yun Chujio's dead body that floats up later. Chapter 1507. Pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. Hall Master Yu and the others had already swam to the vicinity of Yun Chujio. They had lost 2 people in a row, so they did not dare to underestimate the enemy this time around. Hall Master Yu gestured with his hands, gesturing for Yun Chujio to be surrounded. Yun Chujio used the same trick again and sprinkled another bottle of dye, causing the river to turn pitch black. Hall Master Yu and the others were so angry that they gritted their teeth, but there was nothing they could do. The black water was pitch black, and they could not even see their own people, let alone Yun Chujio. In the darkness, they could hear the screams of the people from the Netherworld Hall. It did not matter if they screamed, as the river water poured into their mouths. That person quickly floated to the surface of the water to breathe. At this moment he felt a pain in his back. Then there was nothing else. He and the corpse of his spirit beast floated on the surface of the water. Oh my God, another one died. Oh right, why did the river water turn black? Did Yun Chujio spread poison in it? Hall Master, yes, men might have been poisoned to death. What you said makes sense. Otherwise, Yun Chujio wouldn't have been able to kill them. You guys can forget it. How much poison would this poison have to be able to kill people after being diluted by the river water? It definitely wasn't poison to death. Seeing that another subordinate had died, Hall Master Yu secretly hated Yun Chujio. This damn Yun Chujio was really cunning to the extreme. She actually thought of such a sinister method. However, you still underestimate me too much. At this moment, the dye was almost diluted by the river water. Everyone finally regained their sight. Hall Master Yu gestured to his subordinates to disperse and expand the encirclement. Yun Chujio's eyes flashed. Oh, she's still quite smart. In this way, if she used the dye again, although they couldn't see her, they only needed to attack the center. Hall Master Yu waved his hand, and the 7 people's spiritual energy attacks shot toward Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio pouted and began to release the pigs. Hall Master Yu and the others were quite far away earlier, so they didn't see the perverse performance of the spiritual energy piglets. Therefore, when they saw the 7 silly and cute piglets flapping their 4 legs, they couldn't help but twitch their lips. This thing was fine on land, but in water? Humph, they were weak. Yun Chujio sneered in her heart. In a while, you guys will have a good time. Yun Chujio's hands were not idle either. She used the 8 immortal swords to protect herself, and then used the purple lightning to continuously shoot at the crowd. Hall Master Yu and the others naturally would not sit still and wait for death. On one hand, they paid attention to the situation of the piglets, and on the other hand, they used water arrows to attack Yun Chujio. The 7 spiritual energy piglets were still fiddling with their short legs when the 7 spiritual energy beasts pounced in front of them. Hall Master Yu and the others glanced at the piglets contemptuously, thinking that these piglets would definitely be finished. However, they were completely stunned by what happened next. The 7 piglets that were originally slow suddenly became agile and fiercely bit down on the spiritual energy beasts. Damn it, how is this a pig? This was even more ferocious than a tiger. This was a live act of pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. Just as Hall Master Yu and the others were in a daze, Yun Chujio released another 8 spirit piglets. Hall Master Yu and the others hurriedly released their spirit beasts to defend, and the 2 sides once again engaged in a fierce battle. Although Hall Master Yu and the others had the advantage in numbers, they were unable to withstand Yun Chujio's evil schemes. When this fellow couldn't hold on any longer, he would put dye in the water and then take advantage of the chaos to launch a sneak attack. The spirit energy piglet and the purple lightning's sneak attacks successively succeeded. Hall Master Yes side very quickly lost another 3 people, leaving only 4 people. Chapter 1508 was round the people of the Netherworld Hall on the shore cried out in alarm. It's over. Hall Master Yu and the others are going to be completely wiped out. Who told them to brag? It's just a piece of cake? It's so easy? I think they'll all be killed by Yun Chujio in less than an hour. That's right. Do they think that Yun Chujio is easy to deal with? If she was easy to deal with, would we still be able to survive for such a long time without killing her? Hall Master Li wanted to say something, but he swallowed his words. Although the words of his subordinates didn't sound very convincing, they made sense. Hall Master Yu was boasting so much, so why were his subordinates being killed one after another? At this moment, Hall Master Yu also had the intention to retreat. The number of waterproof beads in their hands was limited, and they couldn't hold on for long. Thus, he gestured to the other 3 to retreat. Seeing that they had escaped, Yun Chujio did not chase after them and swam directly to the big ship in front of them. After Yun Chujio got on the ship, She sat down on the deck and said, "Damn it. I'm so tired." Fortunately, they ran away. Otherwise, it might not have happened. Nangong Luoyue and the others were very happy to see Yun Chujio return safely. They kept praising Yun Chujio's underwater skills. Yun Chujio pretended to be modest, but her mouth was almost unable to close. Hall Master Yu returned to the shore dejectedly. Hall Master Li didn't say much and only said, "This stinky girl is very strange. Let's take a long-term plan. She can't escape anyway." Hall Master Yu nodded. That stinky girl's spirit energy piglet is even more abnormal than on the shore. It's really difficult to deal with. I'm afraid that they won't come ashore until the mystic realm closes. Then we won't have a chance to act. We don't know how far the end of the river is. If the water level at the end of the river drops, the boat will surely run aground. We can just block their way. Hall Master Li thought for a moment and said, "We can only do so." From this day on, the two sides had been in a stalemate. Hall Master Li and the others would jump into the river from time to time to chase after them, forcing Yun Chujio's boat to keep driving forward, trying to force them to the end of the river. Although Yun Chujio had guessed Hall Master Li's intention, she did not have a good solution. Once those people boarded the boat, it would be bad. She could only keep pushing forward. 8 days later, when Yun Chujio saw the scene in front of her, she could not help but feel like crying in her heart. It seemed that not only was the earth round, but this damn mystic realm was also round. In front of her, it was actually that big lake. The big lake that she fooled 6 big bastards into. Yun Chujio wanted to turn around, but Hall Master Li and the others were already waiting in the water. Once Yun Chujio's boat turned around, they would definitely take the opportunity to board the boat. At that time, there would only be death. If they kept going forward, the lake would definitely have an end. At that time, they would still be caught up by these people. Advancing or retreating was a dead end. What should they do? Nangong Luoyue and the others also realized that there was no way to escape. They also had worried expressions. Could it be that there was really no way to survive? Junior sister Little Nine, why don't we rush to the opposite shore and escape? Perhaps there might be a turn for the better. A male student said. How could there be a way to survive? Didn't you see that the people of the Netherworld Palace are waiting for us on both sides of the river? Once we get ashore, we will definitely die. But if we don't get ashore, we'll still have to die when we reach the end of the lake. Moreover, we're on the boat, so we won't be able to escape even if we want to. Yun Chujio, who had been silent the whole time, suddenly stomped her feet. We can only gamble. If we win the bet, we'll be able to escape. If we lose the bet, we'll definitely die. Do you dare to gamble with me? Nangong Luoyue and the others looked at each other and said resolutely, "Gamble. Since we will die anyway, we might as well gamble." Hearing their words, Yun Chujio took a deep breath, then she pulled her neck and shouted, "Listen up, scum of the Netherworld Palace. I will give you one last chance. If you don't get lost, I will let my divine beasts eat you." Chapter 1509 Lies again. Hearing Yun Chujio's words, Hall Master Li and the others sneered. "Yun Chujio, have you gone mad? Godly beast? If you had a godly beast, would you have been chased by us for so many days? What do you know? My godly beast is in the big lake ahead. If you continue to chase after me, I will call out my lord godly beast and eat you." The people from the Netherworld Palace immediately burst into laughter. Divine beast is in the lake? Could it be that your divine beast is an asshole? It's still in the lake. That's right. Yun Chujio, we know that you have a lot of bad ideas, but even if you lie, you still have some skill. Isn't your lie too simple? If there is a so-called divine beast in the lake ahead, I will call you Grandma. Yun Chujio sneered. You forced me to do this. It seems that I have to release the divine beasts. The people of the Netherworld Palace thought that Yun Chujio must be bluffing. If she had the divine beasts, she would have released them long ago. Why would she wait until now? While everyone was thinking, they heard Yun Chujio stretching her neck and shouting at the top of her voice, "Lord Divine Beasts! 6 Lord Divine Beasts! I have brought you the reserve rations again. Come out and have some snacks. 6 Lord Beast God. Come out quickly. They called you big bastards and said that you're useless. They said that you're cowards who only know how to hide in your shells. Lord Beast God. If you don't come out now, he'll take you away. Yun Chujio didn't have any confidence at all. She didn't know if the 6 big bastards were nearby. Even if they were nearby, she had already fooled them twice. As the saying goes, you can't repeat it again and again. But now, other than borrowing beasts to kill people, she really had no other way. Yun Chujio stretched her neck and shouted for a long time. There was no movement at all on the shore or in the lake. Her heart sank. Could it be that the 6 bastards were still basking in the sun in the wilderness? Fuck. They were already dark enough. What was the point of basking in the sun? The people of the Netherworld Hall saw that there was no movement. They were even more certain that Yun Chujio was bluffing. They could not help but laugh wildly. Yun Chujio, where is your divine beast? Not to mention that there isn't any bullshit divine beast. Even if there is, we aren't afraid even with so many people. That's right. If there is a so-called divine beast, we can just kill it. It is said that the blood and flesh of divine beasts are very nutritious. I think there definitely isn't any divine beast. There might be a few big bastards in the lake. Just as the people of the Netherworld Palace were talking nonsense, a cloud of dust rose up in the distance, and the ground started to shake. 6 huge beasts rushed over quickly. The people of the Netherworld Palace felt their legs go weak. Although they didn't know the level of the 6 demonic beasts, they were definitely not lower than level 27. Were these demonic beasts really Yun Chujio's spiritual pets? The 6 demonic beasts quickly crawled to the vicinity of the crowd, and their huge eyes looked at Yun Chujio angrily. This wretched girl had teased them twice. This time, she would definitely eat her. Yun Chujio's eyes flashed and she stretched her neck and shouted, Lord Divine Beast! Lord Divine Beast! You're finally here. This is great. I've finally helped you get a few dozen reserve rations. Oh right, they called you useless bastards. I'm about to faint from anger. Come and take care of them. I didn't run away last time. I went to help you find reserve rations. If I had run away, would I have come all the way back? Chapter 15:10 The divine beasts killed them. The people of the Netherworld Palace were confused. What was going on? What was going on? What was going on? Were these 6 demonic beasts Yun Chujio's spiritual pets? Would they attack us? The 6 demonic beasts were confused by Yun Chujio's words. What the little brat said made sense. If she was running away, why would she come back? My 6 divine beasts bite them to death first, then slowly discuss the problem of eating me. This is in the river, not on land. I can't run away even if I want to. Let me tell you, they scolded you harshly. What big bastards, what cowards, they even want to drink your blood and eat your flesh. Alright, someone even said that he wanted to flip your shells to make a urinal. When the 6 demonic beasts heard the last sentence, they were so angry that they almost went mad. They started to W and caw strangely as they charged towards the people from the Netherworld Hall. Hall Master Li had already guessed 80% of the truth. These big bastards seemed to have wanted to eat Yun Chujio in the past. Yun Chujio had escaped, and now they actually said that they were helping them to trap us? When Hall Master Li thought of this, he shouted, Lord Divine Beast, that stinky girl Yun Chujio is spouting nonsense. We have never said that you are big bastards. You guys have been deceived by that stinky girl Yun Chujio. You guys can't be so stupid. Hearing what Hall Master Li said, Yun Chujio almost burst into laughter. This Hall Master Li was really too stupid. What the demonic beasts were most willing to listen to was flattery. What they hated the most was that others said it was stupid and said it was stupid. If you said that, then it would be strange if the 6 big bastards weren't even angrier. As expected, when the 6 big bastards heard what Hall Master Li said, they became even angrier and pounced on them. You're the one who's fucking stupid. Your entire family is stupid. We're so smart, how could the little girl deceive us? The people of the Netherworld Hall were so scared that they ran in all directions. How could they still care about Yunchujio? They wished that they could grow 2 more legs. Hall Master Zhu, who was on the other side of the river, couldn't care about saving Hall Master Li and the others. He took his men and ran away. Hall Master Li was so angry that he couldn't do anything. Hall Master Yu brought his 3 men and jumped into the river. He was ready to swim to the other side. When the 2 demonic beasts saw him, they climbed into the water and killed the 4 men and their demonic beasts in a short while. Lord Divine Beast, you are indeed brave and fierce. Good kill. Good kill. You killed them until they cried out. Lord Divine Beast. Yes, it's that fatty. He is the one who said that he would tear off the shells of your sons of bitches and use them as your urinals. Kill him. Lord Divine Beast, you guys come and compete. I want to see who kills the most people. Whoever kills the most, you'll let them eat me. In less than an hour, the battle on the shore came to an end. Hall Master Li and the others were all bitten to death by the 6 demonic beasts. Only then did the 6 demonic beasts start to squawk at the big ship, motioning for Yunchujio to come out and throw her life away. Yunchujio's loud voice could still be heard from the ship. Lord Divine Beast, put in more effort. Kill them. Lord Divine Beast, you guys are the best. I love you guys. The 6 demonic beasts had an ominous premonition in their hearts. They swam into the water one after another and used their huge bodies to ram into the ship. Until the ship was knocked over, they did not see a single person. They were fooled by that damn brat again. She must have secretly escaped from the river. The 6 demonic beasts saw a boat in front of them from afar. They gritted their teeth and chased after it. Damn brat, this time I will definitely eat you up. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.